Hey, what's up? It's Tati and I'm back with another review of ROH TV. Oh my gosh. So if you were not really sold in for the Supercard of Honor pay-per-view, after seeing that promo, that sit-down interview with Claudio Castagnoli and Eddie Kingston, you have had to have been sold on the pay-per-view. Now, these two right here had a really nice exchange. We had Caprice sitting in between these two guys, sweating bullets, hoping that there wasn't going to be throwing hands and he wouldn't get involved. Everything was so perfect about this moment, and watching this made me realize that WWE did nothing with Claudio, and it is such a shame that such a talent was wasted over there. People always say if you're a wrestler, you're gonna want to go to WWE. The dream is always to be at WWE. What, you get signed, you get money, and they do shit with you and you leave behind almost no legacy? Fuck that. If you can go somewhere else and they can treat you better than WWE, go for it. And really, I'm just seeing such a difference with Claudio that makes anyone who has been watching WWE would know, like, okay, there's a difference between how he was in a WWE versus how he is right now with AEW/ROH. The difference is night and day. We already know that there's been real life heat between Eddie and Claudio, so their feud right now feels really genuine. It feels like something really real. And that sit down between them two, oh my gosh, I hope they post it on YouTube so anyone who hasn't seen it can take a look at that. It was absolutely flawless, and I don't think Eddie's going to win the title, but just that moment alone was probably some of the best moments that I've seen in wrestling this year. Let's get into the review. First match of the night was Tony Nese versus Mark Briscoe. This was a really great way to start off the show, and kudos to everybody who's been working with Mark since he's been, unfortunately, a solo competitor. He's really showing that he can do things on his own. He's really entertaining in the ring, so it's always fun to see him, but he's going to definitely be a little bit more serious when he goes against Samoa Joe for the TNT title. Now, I really like Tony Nese. I like the whole varsity athletes, and what I'm kind of feeling with ROH right now is that people who are normally jobbers on like AEW Dark Elevation or even on Rampage or Dynamite, even if they're losing here in ROH, their matches have been so solid. That's one thing I can say about ROH so far, is that I've been enjoying their matches more than Dynamite and Rampage, and I'm really liking where they're going with these matches. We already knew Mark Briscoe was going to end up winning this, but I think it's really important to see how Mark is transitioning to being a solo competitor. That's how things are going to have to be for the rest of his career, but I like how they're building him up towards going with Samoa Joe. However, I don't like how they're building things up with Samoa Joe himself. I really feel like they're being super lazy with Samoa Joe. Anyway, this match was really great. I did enjoy it. Yes, we had some interference with Mark Sterling ringside, but both these guys gave it their best, and they both look really strong here. In my eyes, there's really no losers, but Tony Nese did lose this match. Up next, we had the Trust Busters versus AR Fox, Metalik, and Blake Christian. And everybody was so great in this match. Let me tell you, you know they use Trust Busters as like a stepping stone for everybody, but they are so amazing in the ring, where it was like I almost didn't even care who won. This right here was my second favorite match of the night. I really enjoyed this from top to bottom. But with this, I know that they're gearing somewhere with the 6-man tag match. So I really feel like all these guys had really great chemistry in the ring, but obviously AR Fox, Blake, and Metalik was gonna get the win for this. Now, what I didn't like was right after the match was over, we do have the embassy coming out. The embassy comes out and they are attacking all 6 of these guys. And when I say attack, I'm using that word so loosely because it seemed like they were just being friendly with it or something, just throwing everybody out the ring, where it's like, hold on, you guys are holding the gold. You guys should be like, everybody need to put some respect on our names and really start kicking heads in. And really, they didn't really make a huge impact coming in that ring, and it just kind of killed the moment for me. Like I said last week, I'm kind of a little bit worried about the 6-man tag championships, and I just feel like they're gearing the right way for the titles. However, I'm not liking how they are using the current 6-man tag champions. So for me, after such a really great match, the embassy coming out there, it just really felt, you know, lackluster for me. I didn't like it. Up next, we had Sky Blue versus Lady Frost. Now, for me, I feel like I really wanted to like this match, but I felt the chemistry was a little bit off between these 2 girls. Now, I do admit that I do see improvements with both of them, especially Sky Blue. Maybe because they just followed a really solid match, so maybe that's why I didn't really feel them having really great chemistry. It was okay to me, but not all that. And throughout the match, really, it seemed like Lady Frost was going to end up taking this win. I was kind of surprised to see Sky Blue take the win. There's just something about the women's division that is just not where it should be, and I really wish that they would focus more about it. It was a good effort, but it was not so interesting compared to everything else that was going on. Up next, we had Red Titus and Tracy Williams versus Dralistico and Rouge. And this was another great match. First of all, the tag team division is looking so much better than AEW's tag division. I'm really enjoying these matches with ROH lately, and I'm really feeling the build for the tag team division. Right after that, not so much the 6-man tag, but they're going the absolute right way for the tag division. This match was another solid match. Dralistico and Rouge obviously being the heels here, not wanting to follow the code of honor. However, even though that was the case, the crowd was cheering for them throughout the match. And like I said, man, people, they like whoever they want to like. They cheer for whoever they want to cheer for, whether they heel or not. And these 2 are so talented that the crowd was cheering for them regardless if they were heels. So I really love that. Another entertaining match. All 4 of these guys have done a tremendous job, and I really enjoy this. I did want the Rouge and Dralistico to win because I wanted them to be part of the ladder match. I do have a little bit of an update with the ladder match at the end of the show, but definitely a great match, man. The way that they're going with the tag divisions, it is so sad that AEW is not taking the time to gear their tag division the same way. Rouge and Dralistico end up taking the win. I absolutely enjoy this. They did try to attack the guys after this match, but that ended up falling flat. I'm loving them. I really love what they're doing here. Okay, so next we had Matt Taven versus Darius Martin, and I'm just gonna say it. While Darius was injured, we did have Dante getting experience as a solo competitor, and that really worked out for him. Now, Darius, on the other hand, with this match, I really felt like you could just tell that he's used to being a tag partner rather than doing singles matches. At times he had a lot of awkward moments, and I didn't want to say this, but he looked like he gained some weight. But either way, like, I really wanted to like this match because I really felt like both of them were doing their best, and there were a lot of great moments here, but I just feel like the inexperience of Darius being a single competitor really showed during this match. And Matt was kind of carrying this, you know, I'm not gonna say kinda, he was carrying this match for me. It wasn't bad, and they went with the right choice with Matt winning this match over Darius, because it just didn't seem believable, because there was too many awkward moments. After the match, the Kingdom did try to jump Darius, but Dante ends up coming out and helping his brother. To be honest, I was really surprised with how this went. I know we really never seen Darius on his own, and that really showed tonight, and not in the best of ways. Up next, we had Brian Cage versus Tony Deppen, and I'm gonna say this right now, there was no reason for this at all. Why? Because we've barely seen these six-man tag champions in action. Barely. We've seen Brian Cage in action. Matter of fact, he had really great bangers with Takeshita and Bryan Danielson over a month ago, whatnot. But we've never really gotten to see the rest of the embassy, or just all three of them together. So now we're gearing up to a pay-per-view that is next Friday, and you're wasting time with putting Brian in singles matches. What the hell? Does that make any sense at all? I didn't like that. For me, I really felt like this match was fast. It just seemed like Tony came in that match saying his prayers and hoping that he'll make it out in one piece, and before you know it, the match was over. And it was like, what's the point of this? We're gearing towards a pay-per-view. You guys want people to buy, then give people a reason to buy. So you guys are holding gold, but not, you know, doing things together as a team. You guys showing up at the end of someone else's match and throwing people out the ring, that's nothing. Y'all should have been in the ring going against another trios, or they could have just put three random guys together and y'all could have did your thing for at least 10 minutes or so. Like I said, I'm worried about the six-man tag. So, like, honestly, if they lost the gold, it really wouldn't matter to me, because I felt like we really didn't see them do anything to show why they should keep it. So if someone else got it, I wouldn't be mad at all. Up next, we had Silas Young versus Shane Taylor. Last week, I was like, holy shit, this is gonna be some good shit. And guess what? It really wasn't. To me, I felt like the chemistry was off. I don't know, these two not working together, they look really good. Now, these two together, not that great. I just kept feeling like, okay, when is this gonna get better, you know? If anything, it was like, from a A to an F, it was definitely a C minus for me. I just felt like the chemistry just wasn't there between these two, and it seemed like it really would have been. Now, this is the first match that Shane Taylor has had since since ROH has come back, and I just felt like this wasn't a really good showing for him. It just felt really flat for me. I was kind of hoping that Silas was going to win this after like halfway through the match, but Shane Taylor ended up taking the win. I was kind of disappointed with this. Was this the worst match I've ever seen? No, but for your return, it just wasn't a great match. Next, we have Billy Starks versus Miranda Alizé, and I have to be honest here, everybody is saying a lot of good things about Billy. She's only 18 years old, and she's making her way through the wrestling world. However, I think she's good, but I do still see some immature mistakes that she's made throughout this match, where you could just see like her age is showing and her experience is showing as well. I don't know, I didn't really care for this match. It just seemed like Miranda was there just to help Billy get over. That's not always a bad thing, but I just didn't really feel the chemistry between these two girls. Like I said, man, the ladies, somebody needs to be helping them with this division, whether if it's an AEW, whether if it's ROH, shit, WWE. Like, something needs to be done. I don't know. Just really wasn't feeling this. Billy Starks ended up taking the win. It was a bathroom break. Up next, the match of the night, Aussie Open versus Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniel. Oh my god, this was absolutely amazing. Now, for whatever reason, I thought this was going to be a squash match. When we saw Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal last, their match was super quick, and I felt like we barely got to really see anything from them. But this match right here, it went on for maybe 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure. It was intense. Everybody had great pacing. Everything about this was perfect. Oh my gosh, definitely the best tag team match I've seen so far this year. I enjoyed it so much. Now, I almost made a mistake and just focused on laundry, but the intensity was just like, I couldn't look away. Everybody had really great chemistry, and this is what I wish that they would have done with Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels last week when they returned as a tag team. But the match was just so quick, and it just seemed like not a great way for them to come back as a team. Tonight they made things right, and this was absolutely one of the best matches in the last 4 episodes of ROH. If anything, like, you need to go out your way to see this. Everybody has really great chemistry. However, I was so surprised that Aussie Open won this. I'm not really sure what's going on with their contracts or whatever, but we're seeing them competing a lot in the US right now. So I kind of thought that they was just there just to help Sydal and Daniels look really good. But this match right here was absolutely a banger, and I can't wait to see what both of these teams are going to do. It's such a shame that I cannot say the same about AEW's tag division. This was a absolute great match. I love it. On to the main event, Samoa Joe versus Cheeseburger. So Cheeseburger accepted his open challenge. As soon as Cheeseburger came out, I was like, holy shit, this is like not even gonna be 5 minutes. Me personally, I just see like the pay-per-view is coming up. You got something going on with Mark Briscoe. You need to be coming in strong for the pay-per-view. Now, to be completely honest, Samoa Joe has been working really hard as both the ROH TV champion and also the TNT champion. And, you know, he put in the work these past few months, and I really enjoy him, especially on the mic. He is absolutely a beast when a microphone is in front of him. But you're going towards a pay-per-view. We don't need to see you in squash matches every week gearing towards that. It just feels so off about that. It just doesn't really make sense. Tony Khan or whoever it is that's back there that's making these calls, when somebody's holding gold, this is not the way to go. This is like my biggest complaint right now with the ROH championship and the 6-man championship. We're not really seeing a really great build going into this pay-per-view. So now he has this match with Cheeseburger. It's like less than 5 minutes, if that. And then after that, Mark Briscoe comes out and he you know, kind of scares off Samoa Joe away from Cheeseburger, and then the show ends just like that. And it's like, what the fuck? Is there a pay-per-view next week or not? This is not the way to go when you want people to buy your pay-per-view. I was really disappointed with how they ended the show. If they ended with Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels versus Aussie Open, I would have had no problem with that at all. People would have left that arena happy as hell. Alright, y'all, so before I go, there was 2 matches that were announced after the airing of the ROH show. So Tony Khan did confirm the Reach for the Sky ladder match. So we do have the Lucha Brothers. They were already announced to be on that show. And the other 4 teams that are on is Top Flight, Aussie Open, The Kingdom, and Roosh and Drilistico. I'm really surprised that Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels is not going to be in this match, but I did say that anything more than 6 teams would have been an overkill. We only have 5. Not really sure why it was not included. Yes, they lost their match, but with Top Flight, one of the brothers won their match and the other brother did not win the other match. So I don't know what the requirements was to get in this card, but that match does seem like it's going to be a great match. Now obviously we do have Eddie Kingston and Claudio for the ROH title. We have Mark Briscoe and Samoa Joe for the ROH TV title, and now we have also El Hijo de Vikingo versus Commander also on that card. It's going to be absolutely fucking crazy. So if you have not been convinced to get the pay-per-view, this is absolutely the reason why these matches here. I really think that they're going to do a really great job with the performances for the pay-per-view. Guys, I think it's sounding like it's worth getting. They do have one more episode of ROH TV next Thursday before the pay-per-view, which is on next Friday at 7 o'clock. And I am definitely looking forward to the pay-per-view so far. It seems like we're going to have some really great matches. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back on Saturday with Rampage Review.